time to get your fix. Come on down, get your horrible gaming review. 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 Wow.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to another horrible game review. As usual, a few disclaimers. Number one, the word horrible in the title of this content does not refer to the game or DLC that I'm reviewing, but the content itself. I do snap judgment reviews here, meaning I get about 5 to 10 hours tops with the game. I'm trying to give you an idea right off the bat if you're going to enjoy it, or if this isn't the game for you, and maybe you should pick something else. That, coupled with the fact that I think video games are one of the most subjective forms of art, I'm not going to do scored reviews. Instead, what I'm going to do is give you an overview of what the game is, and then I'll tell you the pros and the cons of the game in my point of view, as all reviews are, and then I'll tell you whether I personally will be sticking with the game outside the purposes of this video or not. So what am I reviewing today? Darktide. That's right, Warhammer Darktide, a multiplayer, I guess, shooter, follow-up to the Vermintide series. I believe there's 2 of them, which was all medieval kind of aimed. And I never played Vermintide. Gave Darktide a try. Oof. This is a really fun game, really interesting game. What is Darktide? Well, Darktide starts with some more interesting cutscenes than I was expecting, but it all happens in the Warhammer 40k world, so prepare yourself for some depressing subject matter. But you play a character that you get to make from scratch, one of 4 different classes, but you also get to make their background, their history, what their voice sounds like. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. There was much more character creation here than I thought there was going to be. Then you are thrust into a plot where you're a prisoner and you're going to die, and of course you end up escaping and proving that you're loyal, and then you end up on this kind of death squad. And basically what this game boils down to is kind of a run-based kind of shooter slash hack and slash, where you have a hub world. There's a lot of other players in there, all doing the same thing. You'll pick a mission. It'll match make you with 3 other players, or you go in with 3 other friends, and then you do this like 1-hour mission, kind of almost like a Left 4 Dead or a Back 4 Blood, or one of those. And basically you'll go from start to finish on this mission for an hour. You'll come back, you'll collect your rewards, then you'll use those rewards to make your character better, to get new equipment, and then do it again, just over and over again. Basically, it's a game about the loop, so to speak. And I don't have any problems with games like this. Some of my favorite games are games about the loop, so I'm alright with that. But that's really all the story that you get. You get a lot of story in the beginning, but just about why you're there and what you're doing, and then you head into these insane missions. Now, some things that I want to point out here. While this game has a fair amount of shooting and some pretty cool guns, you run out of ammo real fast. So there is a lot of melee combat in it. And you can tell that the melee combat all came from the Vermintide. I mean, I never played Vermintide, but if the melee combat was like this, I'm going to possibly reconsider that decision, because the melee combat is incredibly snappy with parries, counters, heavy attacks, and light attacks. It's not just mash a button to attack sort of situation. And the melee combat is a viable option not just a viable option to ranged combat, but you will have to do melee combat to get through these missions. There's no other way around it. Especially since, from what I can tell, there are no shared items in the game. So if you're playing with randos, they're going to take all your ammo, all of it. We're going to talk about that later. So anyway, once you fight through, like I said, you get some bosses. There's usually some sort of like trick to one of the things, like a very simple puzzle-ish thing, or something that you've got to trip a bunch of wires. And then, like I said, you come back, and then you use the rewards you get to acquire stuff. Better guns, better ammunition, better perks, better clothes, and that's literally the entirety of Darktide. that's what this game is. Unless I miss something, that's what this game is. So, what are the pros? What are the cons? Let's get into it. First of all, pro. The shooting is phenomenal in this game. It's concise. It's accurate. It has widespread between like what the guns can do and what each gun is. They feel very different. When I'm shooting a submachine gun, it feels different from even the other submachine guns, not just all machine guns. It doesn't just feel like, burst gun, I'm good. There's also a weight and heft to the weapon fire. You really have to think about it. There's a lot of recoil to it. You really have to aim. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that kind of methodical look at gunplay, which a lot of games don't do, especially first-person stuff. That being said, I also want to say my next pro is the melee combat. The combat in this game is phenomenal. They did a great job. The melee combat is quick and concise. I never felt like I was getting screwed over in it. Even when I was fighting hordes, when you block multiple people. When you push multiple people. And that's kind of different even from when you have these melee systems where there are multiple things. It's usually still really only useful against one person. With this, you can really fight hordes with melee, good timed melee stuff. And I really enjoyed that. I actually spent more time meleeing people than shooting the gun just because it was so much fun. And I can't help but be excited because I played a character with an insane Irish voice who just screams obscenities the entire time, which just... There's nothing more fun than that, than rushing headlong into a just horde of demons with an axe, screaming Irish obscenities at them. That's amazing. That's fun. Which brings me to my third pro, character creation. Wow, I was impressed by this. I'd probably say that this is my most surprising and most loved pro of this game. When I saw this game, I thought, okay, you pick a couple characters and then that's it. You go in. I thought it was more like that. I did not know that when I went into the game, I was going to spend the next 45 minutes deciding what planet he grew up on. I think that's awesome. And it's awesome. Everybody who's been on this channel for a while knows how much I love a character creator. I think that a character creator immediately attaches you to the character in the game, especially in games like this, where it is just a loop, where you're just doing a loop. There's not a ton of story to it. It makes it that much better that you made the character from scratch and you know what he's dealing with. And that it brings you into it a little bit better than, say, just picking X character and going through the game would be. The voice work is phenomenal. Phenomenal. At least for the crazy Irish guy, I'll say that. And I enjoyed it. So yeah, I think those are my main pros. Let's get over to the cons now. Get into these cons. All right. So what are my cons? What are my not likes? My first not like with a bullet is the amount that shit costs. After one mission, you'll probably be able to get a better gun, which is nice, or a better close combat weapon. But the clothes cost ungodly amounts of money, and you start in these like prison blues, like a jumpsuit. I just don't want to be in the jumpsuit anymore, but this game will just not let you because every piece of clothing has some sort of statistical thing to it. It doesn't have a cosmetic change. Or if it has a cosmetic change, guess what you're paying? That's right, real world money. So I didn't like that. I did not like that. I didn't like that there was the microtransaction in there for cosmetics. I certainly didn't like that I'm still in these fucking prison blues and I've played 6 hours of the game. I want different clothes. Like I appreciate that there are a bevy of weapons that are available to me already. I want new clothes, please. I want to make my character look halfway decent. Just give me one other option without spending like you have to grind so much to get a different outfit. It's insane. My next con is the no shared ammo. This really bugged me. I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought I was counting them. But there are only so many chests in a level. If somebody else opens it and pulls all the ammo out, they have all the ammo. It's that simple. And ammo is extremely limited in this game. So it's not easy to come by. And if you're playing with, I mean, honestly, if you're playing with randos, why would they save it for you? They take it for themselves if they didn't have it. Like, I mean, if I full up, I'll pin it so that other people can find some. But if I don't have enough, if I don't have full, I take it. So it's kind of weird. Like, of all the things, I don't know, like, just let us share ammo. Like, that's kind of crazy to me. I think the reason that they did this is because they want you to feel the lack of ammo. They want you to be in that situation where, oh no, I'm out of bullets multiple times in one level. And I understand that. However, there is an easier solution to this that wouldn't make you so furious at your co-players, and that would be reduce the amount of ammo that's in a level. Just reduce the drops. Reduce the amount of ammo you can get in a level, and then you'll still feel that without me being really mad at FartBus96 for just dragging all the ammo into his pockets without sharing at all. Even though I've been out way longer. So I found that a little bit frustrating. I can't not say something about it, and I have. My final pro is a pro a little bit more for the subject matter. Look, this game, from what I see, I've never been a huge Warhammer 40k guy. I like the Warhammer fantasy stuff for a little while, but I've never been into the 40k stuff that much, mainly because 40k is depressing. And I don't mean depressing like Vampire Masquerade depressing. I mean like depressing like the Holocaust depressing. Like, it's depressing. Like, the subject matter there is just so bleak and hopeless at all times that bums me out, man. And it is very evident in this game. Like, they don't miss a beat here. I will say that this is a little bit less... because of what you're doing in the game, it's a little bit less impactful. But like I will probably always avoid story-based games in this world just because I don't want to feel like hanging myself afterwards. Like, it's just so grouchy. That being said, this has that, and I still felt it a little bit. I still felt like, why are any of us doing any of this, man? Like, it's just so depressing. And if you have any sort of bubble in your personality, you're going to feel it a little bit. All right, so that's it. Am I going to stick with it? I'm definitely going to stick with it. The only thing that's keeping me from playing it right now is I don't want to get too far into it because I have some friends on console, you know who you are, that want to play this game very badly, but it has been delayed on console like forever. So I am personally kind of waiting for it to come to console so that I can play it with my friends. I think that's another thing that, like, while I didn't put it in the cons, is a little irritating about this game. They said they were going to release everywhere back in December, and then at the very last minute, like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks prior, they were like, hey, nothing for the consoles, and it's kind of a beta right now. That's a little annoying and a little shady. Like I said, it doesn't really affect the gameplay, so I didn't want to put it in the actual cons, but it's a little shady and it's a little annoying, and if I was a console player, I'd be really frustrated with that. But I'm not a console player. I'm a PC guy, so I'm going to wait for my console people to get on there, and then, yeah, we're definitely going to shoot it up a lot. Alright, so that's my review of Darktide. I don't know if I'm going to do another review or not. It depends on if I decide to review Monster Hunter Rise and put myself through that or not. So, yeah. You guys can tell me in the comments below if I got this right or wrong. You can also contact me on Facebook at OmegaGamingDH, on Twitter at OmegaGaming9. You can join our Discord. Link is in the description below. Influence this and all of our shows from there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you keep watching and listening. I'll keep making them. See you guys next time.